So the song I've brought is it's by a solo artist who goes by the name of Minutes to Midnight, and the song is Love Field.
Air Force Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, carrying the President of the United States. There's Mrs. Kennedy, and the crowd yells, and the President of the United States. Shaking hands now with the Dallas people, Governor and Mrs. Conway. The President is up to the fence now, shaking hands. And here they come, right down toward us. I can see Mrs. Kennedy. Gave a lovely smile and a wave at that time. Waving at a lot of people. Boy, this is something. Beautiful break in the weather. Just a beautiful break in the weather. Clear blue sky and a warm sun.
Somehow, somewhere, I'm part of the crowd, shaking hands with him, bringing roses to her at Love Field. Somehow, somewhere, standing still at a window, I lean over, stay on the low, I hold my breath, I show my strength. The limo, the bikes, the petals, the signs, she's waving. The flowers, the dress, the runner, the press, he's waving. Somewhere, somehow, here right now, I'm waving. Somewhere, somehow, the moment is right to stand still, to stand still.
That was the police department, Mrs. Preston, saying they have not received a confirmed report. And now we'll put you to the downtown area of Dallas. Here is the latest unconfirmed report we have. And we must stress that this is unconfirmed. Governor Conway and the President have been wounded in this assassin's attempt. The automobile, the President was riding remotely, said out to the hospital, and we do not know whether Mrs. Kennedy and Mrs. Conway suffered any injury at all. The first report we had showed that both of the men were lying prone in the automobile in the ceremony at the time is hospital. Was going to have a smoothly operating presidential motorcade and visit, and then suddenly a black cloud descended on Dallas.
Okay, so that was Minutes to Midnight with Love Field, one of the submissions that was sent to us recently. I have to say, I think the quality of the submissions that we've had this year has been absolutely amazing. I said to Rich and Wayne on a message the other night, and everybody just seems to have stepped things up a gear. But yeah, this got my attention. I mean, it's part of this was the track that was actually submitted to us, but it was also explained in the email that we got. It's part of a concept album. It's a debut album for Minutes to Midnight. He's got a lot of experience of working with other artists, arranging, co-mixing, writing, all the rest of it. But he decided to tell a very personal story in the media of a concept album. The album is called After 1989, A Trip to Freedom. And basically the deal with it is that the concept is that he's a kind of a family meal, and his grandfather basically randomly started telling a story about how he was
in the crowd that day
in Nazi Germany. He was sent to the Sachsenhausen concentration camp and spent 4 years there.
I did not
and
get that.
was eventually released. He was a shoemaker, befriended one of the guards, and basically helped him escape. I think
Is it a true story?
Yeah. This guy, Minutes to Midnight. He had no idea that he had this family history, so he began to reflect on that, and basically started reflecting on all the atrocities that have been committed ever since, and finally went on this personal journey where he actually visited the concentration camp. And the album basically charts. It starts off, the first track is his grandfather telling the story, and then we go back in time to it actually happening, and we go through all the events up to the present day, which leads us through the Cuban Missile Crisis, JFK, which this song was about, the assassination of JFK, culminating with Minutes to Midnight actually taking a personal pilgrimage to visit the concentration camp. So yeah, it really impacted me, and I listened to the entire album, which is something I rarely do with these submissions, and the whole album was just blew me away, to be perfectly honest. I'd actually say there's probably better songs on the album than this, but this is the one he submitted to us, and there are elements of this that I really liked. I like the way it was interspersed with news footage. If I had to make one criticism, I'd say probably the news footage at the start goes on a little bit too long. It's kind of like you kind of think, is a song eventually going to kick in? But when he does, it's a beautifully crafted song with some great instrumentation, and it's one of those where just when you're thinking, it gets to a point where it's getting a bit repetitive, and I kind of think it needs something to kick in now, and then that bass line slaps in, and it's like, whoa, that's just what this song needed now. So yeah, I liked it a lot. So let's go to Alex first. What did you think, Alex?
I really liked this song, actually. It reminded me of my time that I used to listen to Pink Floyd a lot. In my 20s, I used to listen to just Pink Floyd. I think I went through 2 years phase, and it took me back there, and I love the sound effects.
Just add there, Alex, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan.
I was about to say,
that's
Neil's been
probably
listening to Pink Floyd for 40 years.
Possibly my favourite band.
Neil's been listening to Pink Floyd for 45 years, and he's only 40.
Sorry, carry on.
So, yeah, I mean, I really like when something like this happens, that the music carries a story, and I don't know, this whole depth that it gives, the story gives to the music. Is it radio sounds? Is it? You said
it's TV clips, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the radio footage from the motorcade when JFK was killed by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah,
I mean, when you know, I mean, obviously that's probably the first time you've heard it. It's like, but when you know what the song's about, it's like it makes perfect sense. It all flows so nicely.
Yeah, I love the bass, the groove, the voice. Yeah, really nice. I was worried in the beginning when you said Minutes to Midnight. I thought it reminded me of this Iron Maiden.
Oh,
track.
2 minutes to midnight. Yeah.
And I thought, wow, what is that gonna be? And then very pleasantly surprised.
Cool. Wayne?
The Minutes to Midnight reference, I don't know if you know that, is reference to the Cuban Missile Crisis.
It is, yes. Yeah. It's a doomsday clock, isn't it?
Yeah, we were 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah. This is exactly what I'd expect you to bring now, Neil. You know,
cheeky.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the whole, and I'm going to use this word very sparingly, so don't go off at me if it's used wrongly. I'm not sold on the whole exploitation of using JFK as a way to promote your song, and I'm not really sure what the song is really about. Is it time travelling? Is that what it's? Somehow I find myself here in Love Field.
Well, I got it from what Neil said. It's his granddad's story.
You've got to listen to it in context of the album.
He's telling it from the beginning, and it's going all the way through to where he is now, and to what we've been through and everything, isn't he?
It's charting a load of human crises and atrocities.
This song.
And I say, the difficulty with a concept album, this is a very Pink Floyd thing, it's very difficult to take a song out of a concept album and appreciate it for what it is. It's hard.
Fair enough. I like bits of it, and there's some bits that don't work for me as well. I thought the intro was one of the most interesting things about it, I thought, with that tremoloed reverb guitar. I really enjoyed that. I did like the use of the radio description, but with the song I found it a little bit confusing. And like you say, if that's the reason why, I feel like there's better examples of this out there. One being Public Service Broadcasting. If you're familiar with those guys, they've done 2 concept albums. One of them being I think it's called the Race for Space. The other one being Every Valley, which is about the closure of Welsh mines. Those guys used clips in their songs all the time, and it works because they use that as a medium to storytell. Whereas I found this very conflicted. I was a bit unsure what the hell was going on. But like I say, there's bits in it I really like, and there's bits in it that don't really do it for me. But yeah, it's very interesting, and I would take a listen to the album so I can get it in context.
It is well worth a listen.
This was a 5-listen song for me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all when I first listened to it, and then by the 5th listen, I started to enjoy it, and by the 7th listen, I was intrigued and I wanted to know what it was about. And that's the thing with this type of song. You can't take the song on its own and judge this song. You need to stick it back in the album, and you need to listen, like Neil said, you need to listen to the album. It's kind of like it's part of it's like
it's a piece of the jigsaw.
It's like you're sitting down watching 10 minutes of a film. You take 10 minutes out of a film and judge the film based on that 10 minutes. You can't do that. You need to watch the whole film. You need to listen to the whole album. I did like the song, that bass when it came in.
Oh, that was the highlight of the song for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a bass player, so I'm biased, but I love it.
But and even after you've explained it, I still don't get it. But I think I will get it if I listen to it again, now that I know. If you know what I mean? So if I listen to it now after what you've said, I'll get it. Yeah, I'll be interested to listen to the whole album.
The album really is his take on the human condition from 1945 onwards, which sounds very arty, but I liked it.
So there you go, Alex. That is the 3 songs that we have brought. That is what we've listened to. It is down to you now to choose which you preferred.
Is it now is the time?
Now is the time, Alex. Now is the time.
Is it 2 minutes to midnight? Okay. Well, I have to say the third one was my favorite out of the 3, the Minutes to Midnight. What is it? It's closer to what I've grown up with and my tastes. Although I do appreciate the other 2 tracks. That one was the one that grabbed my attention more.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Neil.
So for the first time ever, I am in the lead. This won't last.
It fucking isn't.
This one last, right? Why not?
Oh, wow.
And again, I want to emphasise the fact that this is not a competition. The way I'm looking at this now is it is a competition, but for me, I know who my guest is. I've listened to his music. I've got thousands of songs sent to me. I've got to find a song that I think, out of all those submissions, I like, and he's going to like better than what you're going to bring. And this week I failed.
See, I don't even play that game.
I do now. I didn't, but I do now.
Never played that
You've
game.
always played that game, Rich. Admit it.
No, I
It
started.
backfires on him so many times. I want to bring this country song for a country artist. And she goes,
Mind
"Oh, I like
you,
the grunge
to
song."
be fair, Rich, you've never actually bought a song by the guests that we've had on the show.
That's right.
Which I almost did once.
Yes, that's like me bringing Spinner today. Anyway,
So yeah,
Okay.
so at the end of the head-to-head, Neely's in the lead.
yeah.
1-0.
Well
Savour
done.
it, Neil. Savour it. Soak it up.
Up yours.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we're going to move swiftly on. We're going to move swiftly on to our next round, which is the Hidden Masterpiece.